Hey there. Okay, tell me if this fits for you. I hate having my picture taken. The least favorite thing I do at work is presentations. I am just not good at talking on camera. Do any of those sound familiar? Are those thoughts you've had in your head? Maybe you've even said them out loud before. If these are phrases that have plagued you and have concerned you about public speaking, you are not alone. The number one fear of people is public speaking. People rank public speaking as scarier than spiders, scarier than heights, even scarier than death. Yeah, that's how much people hate public speaking. Yet, some recent marketing statistics say that 85% of consumers want to see more video from brands. Another statistic suggests that 65% of consumers want to see a video about a product or service before they buy. So, why am I combining these statistics about video and public speaking? Well, getting in front of a camera is just another form of public speaking. Hi, I'm Jennifer Roberts. I'm the owner of Back Porch Communications, and you are right here in week 6 on my series of being the boss of your brand. This week, we are continuing our conversation about how to be the face of your brand. This is part 2. Last week was about what it means to even be the face of your brand and some ways you can do it. We also talked about how you should know if you are the right person to be the face of your brand within your organization. But this week, in part 2, we are going to focus on some video and in-person presentation tips. This is a topic I love to talk about. So let's dive right in. Back to video and in-person presentations. Now, I've got a total of 4 different areas that I want to offer you some tips on this particular topic. The first is perception. That is kind of our mindset, the things that might hold us back from even allowing ourselves to get in front of a camera or do a presentation. Things like prepare. We need to get ready. How do we do that? I'm going to talk about that today. Practice. What are the ways that I would recommend that you practice for a presentation? And the performance. That's kind of the appearance aspect of it, of doing the presentation, whether it's on video or it's in person. So let's go through these items one by one. Okay, the first one, just like those thoughts that I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, our minds can tell us a lot of reasons not to do presentations, not to put ourselves out there. But it's our job to fix our perception, to fix our mindset, and to make sure that we're not losing opportunities by not getting in front of our ideal client, by not getting in front of an audience. We cannot let our negative mindset about public speaking get in the way of our success. That is what being the boss of your brand is about. So, I wanted to share just 2 negative thoughts that I've seen and helped people work through when it comes to presentations. There are many others out there, okay? So if these don't fit you, know that there's a long list of reasons why people are scared about doing public speaking. But I picked a couple and I want to focus on these 2 for this video. The first one, I don't like how I look on camera. I hear this a lot. Friends, you don't need to have the latest fashion, the best hairstyle, the makeup artist to make you look amazing to get in front of people or on camera. And we definitely want to show up feeling our best selves. But it is important to remember that when we're truly talking to our ideal client, they are far more interested in the information that we have to share with them than they are in looking at your eye makeup. Unless, of course, you're selling eye makeup, then they probably are looking at your eye makeup. But all joking aside, they are more interested in the information that you can give them and how it might solve a problem that they are experiencing. So remember that when you think about, I just don't like how I look on camera, okay? The second mindset issue that I hear often is, I'm just too busy to do this work. I'm too busy to do videos. I'm too busy to put myself out in the community. I'm too busy to do marketing. Okay? I'm too busy running my business. I understand all of that. I hear it a lot. But sometimes when we say we're too busy, it might not really mean that we're too busy. It might mean that we're not quite ready to step into this role yet. I don't feel like I'm an expert yet in this area. I don't feel confident that I know what I'm doing in this presentation or this video. I might need someone to help me, okay? So the question sometimes is the busy a cover for something else? Here's what I like to ask people when they say, I'm too busy to do this work. Okay, are you too busy to have a conversation with your customers? Are you too busy to talk to them? You don't have time to tell them about what you do, what you offer, so that they might be willing to work with you or purchase from you. Well, of course, you do have time for your customers. Think about the fact that with a video or a presentation, you might be talking to a bunch of ideal clients at one time. What a time saver. And with video, you could be educating your ideal client in the middle of the night while you sleep. They could be watching your video. Fantastic, right? So now being busy sounds a little bit more like an excuse than a reason not to step into being the face of your brand in this area. So let's move on to our next steps. Now that you've decided to talk to your customer, doing a presentation or a video, we passed some of that mindset issue. We need to prepare. How do we prepare? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Now, we want to have a single concept for our video or in-person presentation. We don't need to boil the ocean. We don't need to talk about everything we do. Simple is better. Simple, short, concise, focused on one topic, okay? Listeners and our audience, they can get easily confused. We want to keep it simple and focus on one thing at a time. There is a structure that I have to offer you today that can help you stay on as you prepare a script for your video. This could be in the form of notes or it could be an actually written down script. Whatever works best for you. But here are the ways that you can prepare and craft this message. You want to start with a hook. That's the first thing. Something that's going to get a viewer's attention, your ideal client's attention. Not anyone's attention, your ideal client's attention. Okay? You need next an introduction of you and your topic. So think about what quickly you can do to introduce yourself, but also here's the topic that I'm going to cover today. Then I want you to focus on 3 supporting points for that topic. What is the information that you want to get across to your ideal client? Okay? Come up with 3 points. Then we're going to wrap it up with an ending. You want to summarize what you said, and then make sure you give your ideal customer information about what to do next. Sometimes we leave our customers hanging with great information and they don't know where to go by or they don't know how to engage. Okay? So think about that. Wrap it up, summarize your ending with a way that your customer can go take action. Where can they go to learn more or engage with you? Okay, so just to review that very quickly, we want to prepare your talk. You want to have a hook, an introduction of you and your topic. You want to have those 3 supporting points, and you want to have an ending that summarizes it all and tells your audience where they can go get more information or take action to work with you. Okay, step number 3 is practice. We've got this great script. Now we've got to practice it. There are 2 ways that I like to practice. I like to practice out loud, and I like to practice in my head. And I'm going to talk to you about both ways. Out loud, of course, means that I'm going to read through my talk multiple times, and I'm going to make sure that no words and phrases don't sound clear or they're inconsistent. I want to make sure everything sounds the way that I want it to sound. It comes across to my audience, and I do that by practicing out loud. Okay? I also like to do that in front of a mirror sometimes so I can kind of visually see what the audience is going to see. So that is the part of the out loud practice. The visualization, the mental practice, that goes on just inside my head. I practice doing this talk fantastically, whether it's in front of an audience. If that's the case, I'll picture the audience and the environment that I'm going to be in. If it's going to be a video, I'll picture people engaging with it, liking it, going, oh wow, that's really helpful. And I picture myself knocking it out of the ballpark. And I suggest you do the same. So that is how practice gets you to a great performance, which we're going to talk about right now. My 4th and final tip is performance. Things like your appearance, right? We talked about that a little bit in the mindset piece of this, but the reality is you want to pay attention to your appearance. You're standing in front of people. It is important. You want to make sure, for women, I recommend minimal makeup, solid colors, and minimal jewelry. Basically, things that aren't going to be distracting. I like solid colors in video. Again, it doesn't compete with anything. For men or women, I advise that you wear something based on your topic. If you're going to be talking to bankers, a suit is probably appropriate. If you're going out to talk to people who want to learn how to surf, yeah, suit's probably not the right fit. So think about what your topic is, who your audience is, and make sure your attire fits in with that group of people and what they're there to learn about. Okay? So bottom line with anything regarding appearance is you don't want it to be distracting. You don't want the dangly earrings, I've done this before, that jiggle around and distract from your message. You want people focused on your words and your information that you're giving them, not what you're wearing or what's in the background. Okay. The other piece of performance that I want to talk about is eye contact. When you're talking to somebody and an audience in person, you can scan the room and look at all the individuals and make eye contact with them. Very appropriate. When you're doing video, you want to make sure that you're looking at the camera. But you don't have to stare at the camera the entire time. It's okay to reference your notes, to look down at your script, or if you have cards of some type, whatever that looks like for you and what your comfort zone is, it's okay to break eye contact with the camera. Why? Because that's what we do in conversation. We don't blindly stare at each other without blinking. And in video, we need to break that eye contact as well. So it is very okay to break eye contact with the camera. All right. All of these tips, I hope, have been helpful to you as you think about ways that you can put your best foot forward in being the face of your brand. So making sure we get past that stinking thinking that gets in our heads and we have a great perception. We have the right perception of how we step in and we become the face of our brand. We also need to make sure that we are preparing our script accurately in ways that it's going to be clear and concise for our ideal client. We want to make sure that we put in good practice so we feel comfortable in our delivery. And then finally, our performance. Make sure that we're putting the whole picture together and we're fitting in with our audience and not distracting in any way from the message that we're trying to give. So all of those ways are ways that we can improve our video and our public speaking performances. All right, so I hope you can see that showing up as the face of your brand It's not only necessary, but it's a necessary part of attracting your ideal client, but it is completely possible for you. If that is something you need to do to step into your role as leader, no matter where you work, it is possible for you to step into the role of being the face of the brand. If you are looking for more tips on how to be the boss of your brand, I am totally here for you. I'm going to be here on this YouTube channel for the rest of 2021. Every week, we are talking about different components of being the boss of your brand. This was week 6, where we were talking about being the face of your brand and how you can improve your video and presentation skills. Next week, we're going to be talking about executing with confidence to make sure that we are taking action and not just practicing and learning and practicing and learning and practicing and learning. We have to get out there and do the things. So we're going to be talking about action taking, executing with confidence. That is next week's topic on being the boss of your brand. I hope you will join me. All right, I'm Jen Roberts. I'm the owner of Back Porch Communications. And as always, I am here to help. Have a great rest of your day.